let's move on next topic, and that would be you, Mr. Nova.
Yes, sir.
Hit us up.
So last year around July, in the middle of July, EA announced that there was a new Black Panther game that was in development. It's being developed by Cliffhanger Games, a fresh studio that's in Seattle. Not much has been released about the game itself, but you know how the internet does. They did some little super sleuthing, and they came across a job posting for a principal sandbox designer, right? So, and some of the responsibilities for this role consists of will be instrumental in designing and populating encounters, systems, and gameplay with dynamic and evolving open world mechanics that contribute to a rich sandbox environment and contribute to a living, breathing game world. So, as you can see in the first responsibility, it says dynamic, evolving, open world. So, with that being said, I'm gonna throw it to you first, Viking. If this was to happen, if this game was to come to be, what do you think the game loop would be in an open world Black Panther game?
What the game loop would be. So
Yeah,
I've had a little bit to talk to think about this because like the game was announced like in July last year, right?
yeah, July
That
10th.
they were doing that, and I've come to the consensus of this, right? Because I think it's going to be in Wakanda. Black Panther is not a teenager that got bit by a spider. He is not a billionaire, which would be fun to play as a billionaire, you know, whatever, in an iron suit, right? Speaking of Iron Man. He's not a scientist. The Black Panther is a fucking king. He's the king of Wakanda, right? So interestingly enough, we talk about open world. The most interesting thing about this game is they had a job listing last year for one of the software engineers that's going to be responsible for player-driven narrative and ownership of a highly innovative open story system, right? So dynamic narrative, branching dialogue, and interactive fiction, which to me sounds like choices matter. Don't give me it's not the illusion of choice when it comes to dialogue that we get from a lot of games that piss me off. But you being a king and dealing with whatever conflict, there should be some real choices that you have to make in that game, especially considering this highly innovative open story system. The gameplay loop can be similar to how they're going to do Wolverine or how they do Spider-Man, right? Like that's been a proven thing on how they do. But the fact that Black Panther is a king means that he has to make real-time decisions during whatever conflict that they're doing, right?
Okay.
So that's the most interesting part to me about it is that, all right, so I am a warrior, right? And I have to protect my city, right? But I'm also the king, so I'm commander in chief, and I have to give people orders and tell them to do what, and I'm the person who does the negotiating and all these other things, right? Dealing with the outside world of Wakanda. That's what I want to see from the game is how because these open world formats, like it's cool. Like I'm gonna love playing as Black Panther and chopping motherfuckers up, absorbing energy blows and, you know, releasing that energy and all that shit. But what can you fuckers do different in these open world settings? And I think it's this innovative open story system that would open it up. I would love to see, especially like with you playing as a king, you have real big consequences towards your dialogue options or choices that you make. I need that. I want this bitch to have like 7 endings. You know what I mean? I need everybody's playthrough to feel not that different, but different enough. You know what I mean? Like BG3, for example, we played that, tons of dialogue options. Everybody's playthrough was slightly different, right? And that's what I want to see from this. They can stick with the cookie cutter, Spider-Man, what they're going to do with what we've seen from Wolverine so far, God of War type of combat system, like different types of points of interest to do that. Like that hasn't really changed much. Some do it better than others. I think Harry Potter probably had the best one because the point of interest were like 40 seconds apart. So it was like that dopamine hit you was getting like super quick each time. But yeah, the open story system is what I'm most interested in.
Okay, it sounds like you want a Black Panther game and add some Civ elements to it, some real time strategy elements to it.
Well, Mass Effects type of shit, right?
Mass Effect.
Like that's not, yeah, like your choices, like or Fable, like your choices that you did. I think Persona does the same shit, don't they?
With what?
Like with your choices, like dialogue options and choices. Not really.
Not really.
Pretty linear on Persona.
Pretty linear. Okay.
Yeah.
One real quick second. I did quick play corrected me. I did miss his second super chat. That is my fucking fault, dude. Like I didn't see it. Quick play says the way Trials of Mana was in the showcase hinted that a deal was probably in place. Many reasons it makes sense. Announcement in summer or winter. Yeah, no, I 100%. When I saw Trials of Mana, bro, listen,
that was pretty crazy.
Yes, hell yeah, and thank you for the Canadian 5. And I'm sorry I missed that.
Thank
bro.
you.
But yeah, go ahead though.
Okay, but no, I was gonna toss the same question to Scale. It sounds like you wanted some Civ in there. That's because as soon as you was like real time, I was like, okay,
not Civ. Civ is like super different, but
yeah, I know.
But yeah, more Mass Effect, I guess.
More Mass Effect.
Yeah.
All right, so Scale, what would you say you would want the gameplay loop to be for this Black Panther open world game?
Gameplay loop. I'm trying to think of it in best case scenario because I'm trying not to. I want to see what they could do a little different, given it being a whole Wakanda environment. So I think, and I know this is a long shot, but I think my personal way I would like this game to go is a fall from grace type of story, and you have to work your way back up to being king. So by having the fall, you get to start out without having all your resources and all your best shit. It's kind of Metroidvania style. You start out with them like all your best shit taken from you. You're working up piece by piece to get back to where you were at. So I think, and somehow I think that would work if he was blackmailed or betrayed or a traitor of some sort. So everybody looked down on him and pretty much banished him, and he goes to another part of Wakanda that's nobody's there except a couple of people trying to help him out, and you make your way back, and it's open world, so you get to progress back to the major city of Wakanda or whatever, where your kingdom is at. But you have the outskirts and different factions and different things and different people that live there that ride with you. They know you're not a traitor, but on the outs, everybody else in the world is saying you are. Pretty standard fall from grace type stuff. But
is that the same route they did? So that's the movie, isn't it? Didn't they
similar?
Yeah.
It's just that's just what a fall from grace is, though. You know what I'm saying? It's just the comeback story is how I want this to be. I don't want you to start out on top, if that makes sense. But, I guess that's how the movie was. But talking about the game. and actually playing these moments in these parts, and also don't know if this is going to be a first person or a third person game either. Did it say?
I didn't see anything about the person view,
so that would also change up how gameplay would be affected, really, because if it was first person, it'd have to go more of an Indiana Jones style of route, I guess, type of thing. But if it's third person, you get more of a Just Cause type. I'd say more Far Cry style if it was first person. So that's that kind of has a big change on how I would want the game to work. As far as a loop, though, of what keeps you engaged, that I'm scared of, and I don't know how they're going to do that without just adding a bunch of fucking robots to fight. That's how all these open world games, especially superhero games, they always just add a bunch of robots in the like. How do I say it? The character variety for enemies is usually pretty lackluster in the open world games. Usually a bunch of the same shit. So that I'm kind of nervous about. But as far as just how it wanted to run, I guess it would just be a fall from grace type of story. Him coming back to his own and going from there. As far as what Viking was saying with the decision making and stuff like that, I hope the same thing. I hope it is that deep. Also, this is an EA game though, right?
It's being developed by Cliffhanger, announced by EA. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're fucked, is what it sounded like to me. Overall, we're going to get microtransactions. We're going to get just something that we're all not fucking with in this game. So that's that part is scaring me. But yeah, that's kind of just my initial take on it. I kind of want just a fall from grace, rise to glory, I guess. I guess it was the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like Viking did say, like in the movie, they have that little challenge thing. So somebody could probably challenge him in the game and take his throne, and then they could kind of cast him down, and he got to earn his way back. Yeah, no, that would be pretty cool, man. For me personally, I think that I would like it to be third person. I think Yobi said that it is third person. I haven't read anything about that, but Yobi said that it is, and that'll be cool, man. Because if it's third person, I don't have to really worry about when to press the button to use my charge. You know, from when you're taking the hits, you could just see the character. You know, see all the goodness, and then you can actually go to different places. You know, within Wakanda. You know, you had the people that was in the mountains. You know what I mean? You can go fight or help them, but I just don't know who you would fight in between territories, because all I've ever seen is like
robots. That's what's tough about open world games, is that even Suicide Squad, you have to fight a lot of the same, it's tough to put character variety in those enemies when you have to fight them the whole time. You know what I mean? It's like you're gonna see the same people, you're gonna see the same villain. So that is a challenge. That's a challenge.
But one thing for me though, as long as they can, you know, nail it, it'll be great. I just want to deal with some of the Wakandan technology, bro. So like when I watch the movies and, you know, see the comments, like they got some shit out there, man. And I want to, you know, try a couple things out, man. So have me like a Q, an Agent Q or somebody. You know?
That's why I would like it to be like fall from or start from the bottom, so you can like get all the tech and get all that stuff. So because you're gonna probably have to get like the forged tech that's made by the underground guy, because you don't have your kingdom behind you like that anymore. So you have to get the same tech but forged differently. You know what I'm saying? Different. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah,